Hi, my name is Nathan Peterson, OCD and anxiety specialist. You've got questions, I've got answers. I asked you to ask me all the questions you have about OCD. I'm gonna answer them. Let's get to it. First question, is there a genetic component to OCD? Heck yes, man, genetic component. If one of your parents has it, you might have it. Both parents have it, you might have it. Both your parents don't have it, you still might have it because it could be great-grandpa, grandpa, whoever, aunts, uncles. There's definitely a line that we can see. A lot of people might look at their past and say, well, I don't see anyone in my family. No one's ever said it. But this is what I found. The older generations didn't talk about this stuff very much, or they might have lived their whole life with OCD and they had no idea. So how are they going to share that information if they didn't know? Somebody in the family could have tics and Tourette's. They could have hair pulling, skin picking. They could have body dysmorphic disorder. It seems like that is all on the same tree. So it doesn't have to be OCD specific. But that's not to scare you. Have kids if you want to have kids. Be a parent. There's joy in that. How do I address the stigma surrounding mental health issues like OCD? We already know there's a huge stigma with OCD. People think, oh, it's all just about washing hands, being tidy, cleaning things. Yeah, that's OCD, right? No. We see these things from time to time that's like obsessive Christmas disorder, blah, 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 OCD coffee, and it's easy to get offended by this stuff. But what I love to do is just educate. We don't have to go out with anger, but we can say, hey, let me share with you what OCD actually looks like for me and most people around the world, actually all the people around the world. It can be pretty offensive for others. Just want to make you aware of this thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the more we can spread positive awareness towards OCD, the better. People don't want to talk about their own symptoms because it makes them feel different, makes them feel scary. But that's another thing. Maybe we should be more open about what we're experiencing in all aspects of life, whether it's depression, anxiety, OCD. So people know, wow, you go through this too? Oh, I didn't know that's what OCD looked like. Some people open certain accounts that are just like, this is just advocacy for OCD. And I love it. How do I know if I need to seek professional help for my OCD? I think anyone at any level can seek professional help. Some try to do it on their own, which is great. Awesome. Love it. That's actually what my online course is all about. Teaching you the OCD treatments that help. Everything I teach in my own office, because not everyone can see a therapist. I'm gonna link that down in the description. But this is what I know. If you can do it on your own, that is awesome. Use exposure and response prevention. Face these fears, don't participate with the OCD anymore. A lot of people I feel like are in denial of their severity of symptoms because they've been so used to doing these compulsions for so long that it just does not seem like a big deal anymore. But they forget that like other people don't spend 3 hours a day doing the thing that you're doing. Or it's only 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. So sometimes we've got to be really honest with what you're experiencing. So professional help at any level of OCD, especially if it's starting to interfere with your daily life. I'm not sleeping as well. I'm losing money because I'm not working. I'm not hanging out with my kids anymore. I'm researching on the internet all day long. This stuff doesn't just go away on its own for the most part. We gotta have that professional help. Can OCD cause insomnia? Well, kind of think about whether it's depression, anxiety. There's so many thoughts that come with OCD, scary thoughts. And often I see it happens at nighttime for many people. So if you think about it, I'm sitting in bed, I'm having all these thoughts. You could harm this person. Is your relationship okay? Are you a good person? Is God mad at you? You know, whatever those thoughts are that are coming your way, it wants you to problem solve it. If I'm problem solving this thing, I'm probably not sleeping. So I guess to fit the definition of insomnia, maybe I'm just not sleeping as much. And that is where the treatment comes in. We're ready for it. I'm gonna lay in my bed, sitting there, and I'm waiting for these thoughts to come. And I'm like, hey, you're welcome to come. Come here thoughts. Come here thoughts. You're welcome to come. And we're not gonna do anything with it. Guess what answer we're gonna give? Any thought when we're laying in bed. Maybe not. You a bad person? I don't know. Maybe not. You gonna do this thing? I don't know. Maybe not. Did you really do this thing? You're a bad person? I don't know. Maybe not. Eventually the brain wants to stop thinking about it because you're just like, that's what we want to do. How do I explain my OCD symptoms to my employer? This is a tough one. Some people create a little page that's like, hey man, this is what OCD looks like. This is what I experience. Some people just straight up go and talk to them. But you might take different approaches. One of them might be, I just want to share what OCD looks like. Another one might be, this is the support I need because of my OCD. Another one might just be, this is what I'm working on for my own OCD while I'm here at work. Because I always want to promote treatment. I don't want it to be, I can't do this thing at work because it triggers my OCD. Obviously that can always be there, but ultimately I want someone to be like, boss, this triggers my OCD and I'm really going to be working on it, okay? So that I want you to be put in those situations that are really hard for you to do treatment with it. So maybe it's a simple email, you're emailing, maybe it's in person, but show possibly what you're doing about it. Are there any support groups for people with OCD? Totally. There are many support groups. You might look at iocdf.org. They have some groups on there. There are forums, there are chat rooms. In fact, I have my own Discord where people are in there chatting. I'll link that down below. Here's some of the problems with chat rooms or forums is there can be a lot of reassurance asking. I saw this red spot. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. My husband doesn't say it's a big deal, but like, what do you think? Is it blood? Or people don't know any better. They're like, oh, that just looks like a pen mark. Okay, whew. I feel better. And so they know, oh, I can keep asking questions because people are giving me some good answers. So you got to be careful with that. You're not going in to ask for reassurance. You're going in for support. And you might call someone else out. This kind of sounds like reassurance. I'm not so sure, but maybe you refer back to your treatment. I try really hard to keep my Discord group reassurance free. But there are support groups where people sit in a circle just like you would imagine, and we're talking about it. We're talking about treatment, talking about support. It can be helpful to know that like I am not alone and I can find an accountability partner to help me with my own treatment. Can OCD lead to substance abuse? So here's the thing. If I saw this question on a forum, guess what radar goes off? Reassurance seeking, reassurance seeking. This person's probably worried that they're going to be a drug abuser or substance, and they're wondering if it's possible that they're going to. Not everything's reassurance, but I've seen this stuff enough. But let me just tell you, OCD, people can use substances to numb the pain. That's with everything. That's with depression, anxiety, traumas. So we're not blaming OCD for this stuff. We're saying we don't want to use that as a compulsion, whether it's alcohol. Every time I drink, all these thoughts go away. No, we don't want to do that because then it teaches the brain, I got to keep drinking then. I'm going to take your question of, can OCD lead to substance abuse and say, actually anything can lead to substance abuse. We just got to be smart about what you're doing. How do I stop seeking reassurance from others? A great way that I do things is once you feel that urge to go ask a question, maybe you're going to text somebody, whatever it is, maybe set a timer. I'm going to wait 20 minutes and if the timer goes off, we'll see how I feel. If I still want to ask, maybe I can set another timer for 20 minutes, see how I feel. But I don't want someone to just sit there and like ignore it and just like be waiting. 20 minutes. Oh, 20 minutes. Okay, I can do it in 20 minutes. No, because guess what? You're probably going to give into it. Instead, what can I do that's worthwhile in those 20 minutes? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, the question that I have that I want to ask, maybe I write that down over and over and over and over on a piece of paper and I answer it with a maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Will I become an abuser? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever the fear is. Will I get sick? Maybe, maybe not. I don't ever want to know. Thanks for giving me this thought. Sure, cool. We want to engage with it completely different. We want that urge to remove itself on its own because it will. It just will reduce. If you give in, you give in. But learn from that experience. Are there any mindfulness techniques that can help manage OCD symptoms? Yes. Totally. Mindfulness is a great tool to use. What it might be is like, I go on a walk every day with my dogs. Instead of just walking, I'm going to notice things that I can see. At least 10 unique things. There is frost that is on that flower that I'm seeing right there, and I'm just going to examine it, and I'm just going to notice it. And I'm going to possibly not give any judgment to it. I'm not going to say it's good, it's bad, oh, that flower's going to die now. It's just I'm noticing it. What do I see? Oh, I see little crystals in that flower. That's really neat. I haven't seen that before. Oh, see, I just said that's really neat. I just gave it a little bit of judgment. It's hard to do, but we change things up. Sometimes I'm sitting on my couch, closing my eyes, and I'm just going to listen and just describe things that I can hear. Or I'm going to have thoughts in my mind, those intrusive thoughts, and I'm just going to notice them. Move across the stage, move across the other side. Move across the stage, move across the other side. And I'm saying, hey thought, cool. I'm watching you right now. That's amazing. You're welcome to keep coming back. A lot of people use mindfulness with their 5 senses. So it could be anything. Let me sit here and literally relax. Do nothing. Listen to music. But where we don't really want to use mindfulness is like, I'm feeling super anxious and the only way to get this to go away is to do mindfulness. No, because that can sometimes turn into a compulsion. Instead, it's like, let's add it into our day multiple times a day. You can do it when you're anxious, but it's not, I have to do it. But sometimes it's, what can I do differently that I'm normally not doing? What things can I see that I notice? What things can I hear? What things can I touch? Whether it's a fidget, I'm just going to be playing with this thing, describe what it feels like without giving at any judgment. It's not a distraction technique. It's actually just bringing you back to the present moment where you're at right now. So what questions do you have? Let me know down in the comments because I want to answer them on a future video. Go check out my online course for OCD if you haven't already. And there's a video here. I've answered other questions in other videos. Man, why don't you go see that? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. People think, oh, it's all just about washing hands, being teety. But let me just show you. But let me just tell you.